Hello, welcome back to 3D Drawing for Model Railway. We're going to continue working on the rear conveyor here today. Started on again last week or last episode. Obviously, the last one we did was a lot more of the detailing parts around here. We're just going to try and add some more stuff on and see if we can make this stand out a little bit better. So I'm looking on this rear end of the conveyor belt now, and looking at the photos, it looks like it's got an extra beam that comes out the side, and I think this is some sort of rubber matting to keep debris from going inside here. So if we come into Fusion, we've already got this lower beam here. I'm just going to create a sketch, and I'm going to create it on the same profile as that lower beam. It's going to use a 3-point rectangle. Let's project in that point there. You can snap to that. So again, we're using that 3-point rectangle, snapping to there. Let's come across. Actually, should we come down? No. Okay, so we'll come across first of all. Come to that, same length as the conveyor belt probably. Down, parallel that to that line there. So dimension wise, it's a bit thicker than these, so I'm going to go say 0.75 and come for instance that to that point. Okay, so we'll just bring it down to about the same length. Find that length there. 3.25. Do. Let's extrude that. Let's come spin this round. We're going to extrude it to the thickness of the base here. Or shall we come further into here? Because it's not going to be seen. Yeah, I think let's do that. Make that a join. Trying to get the distance so it's not come all the way through the top, but still look like it's joined at the bottom. .83. It's not coming through the top, and it is intersecting at the bottom, so we'll go with that. That will help support this when it's printing. Again, as I say, it's not going to be seen. When you look side on, you're not going to notice it, and the roof at the top is going to be over the top, so you won't see top down. Okay, and then I'm going to create a offset plane from there. Do we look like we want to come out or in? I think I'm going to go in slightly. We go minus 0.2 on that. Create a sketch onto that profile. Project on that line there. And then use our 3-point rectangle again. Snap in there. That position. 2.2, that's the height of that. If we extrude that again, you can't see, I'm going to extrude to that back surface, that join, and that will be able to then be painted black and look like that rubber mat sitting here. And again, we're looking at supports for those. Okay, and each side, this is a bit of an I-beam here. So if we put a sketch on that surface, do offset, turn the tangent off, that side, that side, that side, and go to minus 0.3. Let's undo that. Minus 0.3. Because of that, we'll just draw another line there. Distance between that is 0.3. And we can extrude that at 0.4. That was a positive. Edit minus 0.4. Because I did positive, I now need to be minus 0.8. Okay, let's undo that. Try again. Extrude minus 0.4. There we go. So now I've got that I-beam. I'll do the same on this part here. Dimension there, dimension from that line to that line, 3, and same on the bottom edge here, extrude 4, and that's cutting, so that now looks like that I-beam goes all the way through. Before we go any further, just notice these three bodies are sitting loose here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back in the history to where we patterned those, so just dragging this history back in. Everything we've done up after that point will disappear. We can then combine the conveyor with those three parts, join, and then go back through. No errors on any of them, and we've just got two bodies there. Okay, so because much of this is hidden underneath here, what I'm going to do is go back in the history. I'm going to bring a couple of these bodies here down to this end here, just to add a bit more support to the bottom of the conveyor belt. So if we just roll back in history, this point here, roll history back here, and then we can pattern bodies, selecting that one there, direction, down the model. I'm just going to put one of them in here. Let's rotate this round. That's at the bottom there. And then one of those, direction this way. I'm just going to put another 2 minus 4 in there. Okay, and if we skip back through the history, they'll still be sat there, but they'll be there. Ooh, this one's not. so now we can combine those in. Again, as I said, because they can't be seen back there, they're just going to add that extra support in, hold that belt up while it's printing. So the next thing I'm going to add is this upright and horizontal member there. For that, I'm just going to draw on this side profile. I'm going to project on that point and that point of this I-beam, because looking at the photos, this pretty much touches the end of the I-beam. I'm not going to draw this as an I-beam itself, just going to do it solid because it's too small. Again, using the 3-point rectangle. Let's pull down like this. Over and coincidence that to that point, yeah. So looking at the base of it, it comes down, goes underneath this diagonal part, so we'll just drag that down like that. We'll dimension the thickness of this piece here. We'll go for, say, 0.4. And let's say the length. That bit. 2.2. Extrude that. Which way do we want to go? Back. Extrude that back in. We could actually just go all the way to that piece there. Although it's not actually. Let's bring that back. Let's go 0.6. We'll tell that to join. And then we can draw on the end profile here. Again, using a rectangle, and we're coming across. Do again 0.6 on the thickness, and we're going to coincidence that point with the origin. Okay, we're going to do that with that edge. Project that edge on. Coincidence that line to that edge. There we go. And then we'll extrude that through to the other side here. Tell it to join. Okay, so it's really difficult to see, but we've got a roller that comes across here. So we can draw that. It sits on this profile. Again, drawing on this rear profile there. Again, using the circle. It's pretty much going to be in line with this upright here, so it's going to be really difficult to see as it is. If we draw a line that's on the midpoint there upwards, and that's going to create a construction point that we can use to draw the circle. So draw as 0.75. Select profiles there. I'm holding the mouse button down. For those that don't know, I'm holding the mouse button down to be able to select through this profile, getting this circle underneath. And we're going to extrude that to the back there of this piece we've just drawn, tell it to join. Again, it's going to be really difficult to see. You know, once you've printed that, I've got all the other stuff underneath. It's probably going to be really difficult to see that, especially when it's painted black or dark grey. But we'll know it's there. Because depending on the time period you're looking at, this rubber mat here changes in size. I'm because I'm drawing from the 80s and I know this picture's 1989, I'm going to draw that matte on. And it's going to be on this profile here. And the reason I'm going to draw it on there is just so that I can paint it, because it's going to stand out a little more from the flat surface. So I'm just using the rectangle. I need a 3-point rectangle. Select there, down. We need to work out dimensions. It's pretty close to the top. So from there to there, I'm going to go say from 0.3. And I'm going to say the height of it. I'm going to say 3 millimeters too big. Probably 2.5. Sort of in line with that I-beam. A bit more, I think, 2.7. And then I'm just going to extrude that forward by 0.2 millimeters. And that just gives us a raised profile that we can, as I say, we can paint that. These still be yellow and have nice straight edges. Okay, and looking on these two beams here, we've got these two circles. They look like they're roughly in line with the base of this part here. So if we draw a circle on here, what we'll do is we'll draw a line, project that line in, we can draw a construction line which comes from there along at 90 degrees, turn that into a construction line, and put a circle on here. It's only tiny, so let's say 0.5. Draw another construction line from the midpoint of that downwards, and then if we select the point of the centre point of the circle, select that line, put it all in the middle, then we can extrude this. We can come all the way through if you want. Cut that out. So I'm making a bit easy for rotating this round. So we've got that hole in there. Let's pattern that feature. So select that feature we've just done. Direction across, two of them. Come across 5 millimeters, that puts it in the middle of this one. So we've also got a circle going all the way through there. It's obviously probably overscale being 0.5, but I need it to be able to, let's say, print and not get gunked up with resin. I think it's going to stand out a bit better being that sort of size. Okay, then looking on the photo again, we've got these spotlights here. They're on both sides, one on each side, and they both look like they're in the same position, so we can add that in. To do that, I'm going to create a offset plane from the vertical edge here, either pick up here or down there, whichever you feel is best for yourself. And that's going to be roughly in line with where this upright is here. I think I'm now just going to come slightly to the right of it. So I'm coming from this edge here, and I'm going to come across 6.2 millimeters. I'm going to draw a sketch on that surface. I'm going to keep the rest of this sketch turned on. Look at. And I'm going to create a circle. I'm going to come off to the side of it slightly. Position. So it's going to be roughly in line with the bottom. Okay, so let's go there. We're 0.8 millimeters in diameter. Let's dimension from the base. So 0.4 millimeters. Actually, might go a little bit more, 0.5 millimeters. I'm actually going to come in slightly. So 0.5. So it's actually joined. And then we'll extrude this. We're going to create it as a separate body initially. It's going to come back. Let's go 0.5. Let's do that as a new body so that I can then fill it off the back surface 0.4. And it's rounded all the way round, but it's still connected. And I was able to select the whole profile of that circle. If I joined it, you wouldn't be able to get the whole of it circling in properly. So we'll do that. Now it might be angled slightly different in real life. It's difficult to tell. It probably is. Probably angled down more. So what we could do is we actually come back in our history to this offset plane. So that'd be that one. And do plane at an angle. Thinking, yeah, if we turn that back off, we plane at an angle to that line there. So I've selected 80 degrees there. If I then redefine sketch plane as that new one, edit the sketch, get rid of that dimension there, and drag it back up then, project on that line there, redefine distance, redefine distance from there to that edge. I think we said 0.25, finish that sketch, extrusion as a separate body. You actually need to come up with it by the looks of it. Edit that sketch and change that to say 0.4. So that edit feature should be on that back edge. That's that one turned off. Okay, 0.4. Turn that plane back off and then combine that body to the conveyor belt. Now I've got a spotlight facing down more rather than being facing up. I think that looks better. More comparable to that. Now obviously it's a compromise having to overlap it to the side here. I might actually just move that up a bit. So it's above the bottom edge of this. Make it a little bit easier to support. Okay, so I think I'm going to end this episode at this point here. So we've added quite a lot of detail into this. It's looking a bit more cluttered like it does in the real model. and we'll come back on the next episode. I think we'll start working on the conveyor belt coming up and down in this position here. And then that should be most of the major components other than the bogies above the chassis that's sorted then. Just adding detail parts on. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed that.